Heard from Pascal Donoghue today that they're regularly in touch with OT. What that means is basically telling them what to do and what to say and what not to bring up and what not to do. And pretty much we all know OT was bailed out by the government. We didn't have a say in it. The OMI, that pay out taxes, didn't have the say in it in bailing OT out to hundreds and hundreds of millions of euro. For them literally wasting taxpayers' money, they were bailed out for it. But long story short, the OT are basically the mouthpiece of the government. I've been saying this for a long time, and everybody else really has been saying it. And anybody who watches OT, to be totally honest, I have to say to you, I wouldn't rely on them for news, to be totally honest. There's more news on social media nowadays. OT is just gone, but they should be long gone, to be totally honest. OT, they're no addition to anybody, because they're basically just the state's mouthpiece, and that's why they were bailed out. If there was any other reason, if they were actually holding the government to account, Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael, the government would not have given them hundreds and hundreds of millions of euro for them to question them on different things. Like the government would be finished, to be totally honest, if they had really good journalists in OT that actually were looking for the truth, etc., etc. But they don't. They just follow whatever the government says. And the perfect example with the Simon House meeting that care worker in Cork. I'm sure everybody agrees it was a disaster. Like more than anything else, like he didn't want to hear her at all. He didn't want to listen to her at all. And again, Fine Gael, the party, wouldn't have said they don't care about the only Joe, and it's plain and obvious. That video just hits the nail on the head. There's no other way of looking at it, really. OT may spin it, because they're trying to spin it. Oh, Simon House is overworked and all. He's working hard, he's doing his best and all that. But there's nothing that really can spin, because the evidence is literally right in front of you. You have to be blind not to see the evidence, because it is the truth. They don't give a shit. But it's funny to hear Pascal Donoghue to say they're in regular contact with OT, which I presume what they mean by regular contact is because they're literally ringing them every evening to say, don't mention this, don't mention that, call these people far right, deny them people their rights, etc., etc. Because that's what they're probably doing every day at Fine Gael headquarters, along with the government. They're ringing up OT saying, don't cover this, don't talk about this, don't do this, don't bring this up. We wouldn't want that, because people actually start questioning stuff. We don't want that. They're basically picking and choosing what they cover, basically. The Fine Gael is deciding for them. And rightly so, OT did air the clip, a bit of it. They knocked probably a bit off it. But in fairness, they did show the bit, which is good that they showed it, because the Irish people deserve to know. And not even that, the only reason why they showed them, we all know it, because it was up on social media and it was everywhere. So they couldn't basically pretend that the word didn't exist. So they couldn't really gaslight people as much as they wanted, but that's why social media really fucked them, because if they got away with it, and so Simon House would say to themselves, only for that fucking social media. That's why we need the hate speech law, so we could ban everybody who shares it and lock them up for 5 years. That's more or less what they want, more or less, because again, take for example this video, they would love to lock up everybody who shared it, etc., etc., just to stop people from talking about it, because it's absolutely dreadful what he did. But it's what do you expect, I suppose. A lot of people online are shocked. Oh my God, Sinn Féin, the Sinn Féin crowd are shocked. They're terrified. OT are actually state-controlled media. Like, they're only after realising this now. Where have we been? And the same with the Labour Party. Some Labour Party supporters on Twitter, they're like, oh my God, the Fine Gael being involved, telling the media what the cover. What planet have you been living on for the last few years? But I've been saying this over and over again. That's the only reason why they were bailed out. If they were asking serious questions and a threat to the government wouldn't bail them out. Just think about that. If they were generally asking very, very serious questions and holding ministers to account and TDs to account, do you mean to tell me Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael would give them the money to keep them holding to account, or do you mean to tell me that they will let them, give them loads of money to keep them shush and hush? Because that's what it was. Like, nobody's been sacked from OT. With all that catastrophe, wasting the public funds, etc. Said Dee Wallace still got off scot-free, and the whole OT executive basically slapping the wrist, and that's it, never heard of again. And nobody's paid any money back or anything. The €3,000 in Sandals apartments, like, it goes on and goes on and goes on, and this is a huge waste of public funds. And then OT has the balls to ask for more money, and then the government gives it to them. That's the worst thing, and there's particularly, as I say, Neil Smith, if you watch my other video, shouldn't, as the chair of the Public Accounts Committee, should have said that OT shouldn't get anything. They should be cut, and to be told that the TV licence should be scrapped. Because why would you hold, and again, Neil Smith on her poster says holding people to account, accountability. there's no accountability because they were just basically awarded. If that's accountability, I wouldn't want to see what's not accountability because they were basically awarded for doing the wrong thing. I'm sure if you had a child, anybody has a child at home, not just talk about the politician in question, but just saying if you have a child at home, you don't reward them. Say if they break something in the house, you don't reward them. You say don't do that again, don't do that, and tell them off. You don't just pat them on the head and say well done, keep smashing up the place. You don't do that. Nobody does that. No reasonable person in the world does that. But again, it's just the state-controlled media RT, so I wouldn't pass much remarks on them. But anyway, it's funny to see the reaction of some people that don't have the head glued on, I suppose, in the way to what's happening in the world, I suppose, in that sort. But yeah, we'd love to know how often do they make the phone calls to RT. It'd be interesting to find it out, but we'll never find it out, unfortunately, because RT is like Fort Knox. You will never find out anything. But yeah, we see what happens. Thank you.